Hi folks, it's Andy. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Welcome to the Kendo Show. Today we're going to be doing another feedback video. This is a video where we essentially take a video that you guys have sent to us and give you some direct feedback on it. So let's jump in. Okay, before we get started, this is a great video that the person sent us. Thank you very much for that. Anyone can send a video for me, and I'll do another one like this if you want to have your own sort of video reviewed. Some feedback given. All you have to do is upload it to YouTube to an unlisted link, and then send me the link through on mail@kendostar.com. There's a few things we've got to say before we get started, of course. Don't forget, all the YouTube stuff. Shop at Kendo Star, keep the channel rolling. Sure, you're shopping there anyway. Most importantly, though, look, there's no judgment stuff going on here, right? I don't want any silly comments judging the guys that have sent these videos in. I really appreciate them doing it. They've been brave to do that. So if you've got opinions about it yourself, feel free to send a video and we can compare it. I'm more than happy to do that. We've got this great video here. I've got a little bit of text to go with it. Just some context that may or may not matter. Both of us started in a dojo that isn't affiliated with the AUSKF, so that's the US. So the last couple of years, we've been attending a dojo, which is about an hour drive for us, as much as we can to be involved with the AUSKF. And better align our Kendo with what we're learning there. Good. Appreciate anything you can share. We're not squeamish about feedback, so let us have it. Thanks so much. Okay, great. That's cool. All right, so let's have a look, shall we? Right, here we go. Hopefully the sound won't be too loud. Hope you can hear it, actually. Don't worry too much if you can't. Okay. Now, it must be quite difficult to practice Kendo on those mats, first of all, but well done for giving it a go. Okay, good. Good Sonkyo, good Deiho. Good. Okay, there's a couple of things I want to say first off, right off the bat for this kirikaishi, okay? So, your sayumichi is good, your kiai is good, your voice is good. What I want you to try and do, I know it's hard, is after that last yokomen, I want you to try and connect that shout, that voice, man, with the next one, all right? It's tough, but if you can, I'd like you to try and do that. Secondly here, the motodachi took a step in. You mustn't do that, all right? So this step in from the motodachi, you mustn't do that, all right? The motodachi must return to the place that they started, and they mustn't step in or step back. They must stay still, all right? And the kakarite, the attacker, after making that last strike, must come to their isokuito distance by themselves. They must judge that. If you start moving, it can throw them off, all right? Okay, good. Good. Okay, so the one last thing I want to say, just on this kirikaishi as well, is after that first shoumeuchi, so the motodachi retreats back. This is fine. This is quite normal. When you do that, when you do kirikaishi, I need to make a new video about kirikaishi, to be honest, because there's a lot of sort of confusing things about it. But if the motodachi goes back, you just this way. Try not to pull your hands back. All right, you only need to pull your hands back if they don't move and you have to go to taiatari. All right, so keep your hands forward as they go back, and try not to stop before you start doing the yokomen strikes. Okay, if you watch here again, I'll show you what I mean. Stop. There was a stop there. So try not to stop there. Try to keep it continuous. Man, 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 man. This way. Okay? And that you'll find you'll find your progress happens much faster. Okay? So otherwise, very good. Okay. Good. Okay. Other side. Whoops, I just paused it, sorry. So same thing there. So one thing I want to point out here, your back foot here is very much pointed out to the left, all right? You're going to get blisters and your hips aren't square to your opponent. So that's going to have problems later when you're starting to try to do fumikomi. Okay, so try to turn your hips square onto your partner. At the moment, they're facing away, sort of out to the left. So, also the other thing I would say here is on the Kikentai-ichi of the Sayumen strikes, of the Yokomen strikes. Men, this way. You shouldn't lift so much. It's a little bit. How can I say? I want it to be I'm not sure what grade you guys are, but I want you to try to be a little bit sharper with it. So it's not men, but men. Okay? Pam, ichibyoshi, it's called. Okay, in one rhythm. All right. If it's a bit hard, maybe it's a bit advanced for where you're at, but it's a goal I'd like you to aim towards. But definitely you need to look at the orientation of those hips. They're just a little bit too out to the side. Okay. Okay, so I think we're going to get some jigeko now. Okay. Good, very good. Good. Let's watch that one more time. So that's very good from both sides. All right, that's very good from both sides. One thing I'd say a little bit that we've talked about a bit on the channel before is this sort of S-shaped kamae when I want it to be a triangular shaped kamae. All right, so this guy, this chap on the left here, I want you to try and just straighten up that kamae a little bit so it's a little bit more triangular. Does that make sense? Rather than this sort of S shape that sort of goes through it, which you start to see come into play when you start to try to move. You start to sort of launch upwards instead of launch forwards. And on the right here, I can see that those hips are facing towards the camera almost. So that's a fantastic degote, but a good men as well from the chap on the left. But you'll have more success, especially if the waza misses on your kote if your hips are square onto your partner. Good. Okay, so again, this issue with the kamae is making it difficult for you to do fumikomi, especially sort of like denzoku one after the other. All right, so you're sort of struggling a little bit with denzoku waza, so you need to sort of sharpen up that kamae a little bit, and you'll start to find it a bit easier. Good. Oh, very nice there. You could just do with a little bit more commitment to that kote nuki men, okay? Because your distance was just a little bit out. So, well, no, the distance is fine, but the waza is a bit slow, okay? So, I guess what happened here is you're sort of waiting. You're expecting for him to come for kote, so you're waiting for it, but it's just a little bit. You don't need to bring the shinai all the way up when you do kote nuki men, okay? Just up is enough. Yeah, you can see here that here he's missed, so you can go straight for men from there, okay? Okay. What you need to do here on the right is you need to try to just keep a little bit more cool when they start to put you under pressure. All right, because here when you start lifting your hands and stuff here like this, it presents itself as a problem. He's got a really good route to your men here actually. So you know, as he improves, he's going to start to make those strikes. It's useful you got the mirrors there. Definitely use them. You're doing your suburi. Okay, so here, nice attempt for kote, but you're lacking the Kikentai-ichi. Okay, so you need to really, again, you need to sort out that left leg and your hips, making sure they're straight so that you can push off properly. You see how your foot's landed here before the shinai. If anything, the shinai lands before the foot, and I'm talking like in a split second. Okay. Well, it's creative waza, like it. I'd say if anything, on the right side as well, your kamae is probably a little bit passive. All right, it's a little bit this way. I'd like it to come a little bit further forward, but I think part of that, like in this position, your hips aren't too open, which they were earlier. But I think they could do with, I think the whole kamae could just do with being a little bit more assertive, and you could probably do with just lowering the kensen ever so slightly, maybe just a centimeter or two. Okay, so I might be wrong, but it looks like to me now that you're waiting to do an ojiwaza. All right, now we'll see if that's what happens. But it looks a bit like that to me, which is not good because it's obvious to me. It looks like that's what you're waiting to do. Or maybe that debana kote that you did before. Okay, so that isn't necessarily what happened. I don't know if that is what was going on. But good, you know, good that you decided to turn it into an attack as obviously your opponent wasn't coming for you. But the problem is you know, once again, your Kikentai-ichi is just out of sync. All right, so you don't want to step forward and raise this way, and then cut on the back foot. All right, that's, you know, there's no fumikomi in that. All right, you need to launch from the left leg as you strike. Okay, so even if this man, unfortunately, even if this man strike makes contact, which it wasn't going to, because you see how far, look how long it takes you to get to the men. Yeah, it's a really long process. Sorry, my computer's being a bit slow replaying the video, but you know, you can see, you start the movement now, all right, and it takes you until then to get to the strike, so it's just a little bit too slow, and it's because you're not really launching and your body's not backing you up. So you really need to focus on making those strikes with fumikomi. And even if you make that strike, you see, it's not going to be valid. Okay, so I'd like you both as well to just sharpen up your tsuba zeri-ai a little bit. Make sure that the tsuba and tsuba are together rather than just fists and fists. But good. I mean, overall, you know, I'm making a lot of criticisms, but you're doing super well. You know, nice men here, nice men. You're doing super well. You're doing Kendo. You know, it looks good. So definitely, you know, keep on with what you're doing. Don't take it as me just criticizing, because I am really impressed with what you're doing. Especially as you said, you know, you started in a non-affiliated dojo, and now you're sort of, you know, involving in the federation a bit more, and that is obviously paying off. Good attempt here. Nice. So again, just sharpen up that tsuba zeri-ai. Nice. Hikiwaza, I like that you're both sort of looking for opportunities on the way out as well as on the way in. That's definitely a good thing. Good kote. Good kote. Good kote. So this is good, but what you need to do is try not, you see, because your hips are quite open for this kote, because your hips are quite open, you sort of hit and move backwards and sideways rather than sort of forward and drive that kote home. So the strike is a fantastic opportunity, but it's a little bit, it lacks sort of impact. I don't mean like impacting the strike itself, because you're hitting with reasonable force, but like it's not like, it's not super impressive from the outside. So like if it was a shiai, it's not necessarily going to force the shimpan to put the flags up for you. So even though it's a fantastic opportunity, it just lacks that something because your body's not quite backing it up. Good, good semi, good semi, good. So what you needed to do there, here on the right, is from here, you should just believed in it and just gone for that men, just pam, just thrown everything away. Don't care if you hit two, just, because if you hit the men, then it's good men. They're going to give the men rather than the kote. Especially you taking the initiative there. That was your waza. So, like, you see, here again, and this is fantastic. This is what I want to see you doing, but I don't want you to give up on it, all right? And you see the shape that you've made here? This is because you've got that S-shaped kamae. Once you sort of fix your kamae, you'll start to see that you'll be able to send your hips forward rather than sort of upwards. Good. Excellent. Okay. So this is slightly better to Bazeri here. This is slightly better to Bazeri, but your hands both need to be a bit lower. But otherwise, pretty good. Okay, so again, that was a good chance, but you see, as you step out, you sort of stepped out and you've turned your hips out again, so that when you actually want to make your strike, you just haven't quite got that Kikentai-ichi, all right? It was a really good opportunity, but can you see how your body is facing the camera right now, all right, when it needs to be facing your opponent? To get that sort of faster and more impactful strike, and get the strike that's going to be valid. As I said, in general, when you make a strike in Kendo, the shinai should land before your foot, all right? Just slightly. But here, your foot is landing well before your shinai, all right? And that's why it looks a little bit disjointed. And if you watch again, see how it looks a little bit disjointed. So even if you make that strike, it's probably not going to be considered valid. Good use of Renzoku waza. Really good use of, I really like the positive assertion from the left side here. Good. But just give it a bit more, yeah? Don't give up on it. Yeah, you hit it. Proper zanshin. Man, not really. Man! Oh, good kote. There we go. Fantastic. Okay, so thank you first of all for sending that fantastic video. As I said, a couple of recaps. On the left, I want you to sort out that kamae because there's a little bit of that sort of S shape, and I want it to be more sort of a triangle shape. On the right, your hips are just too open. All right, you need to get them locked and facing towards your opponent, and you'll be able to deliver better strikes. On the left, I want to see a little bit more stemi, a little bit more zanshin, a little bit more kiai when you make your strikes. All right, don't give up on them. Really launch yourself into them. On the right, I really want to start to see you work on that Kikentai-ichi. Okay, so launch from the left and strike. all right? And then the foot makes contact with the ground a split second after the shinai hits, all right? Because you're launching from the left leg. But both of you doing super well. Your neigi and your sonkyo, all that sort of stuff, perfect. And if you work on those points I said, you're gonna have no problem at all. Keeping on improving. I don't think you wrote what sort of level or grade that you are at the minute, but I think you're definitely on the right track. You're obviously doing kendo that will be in line with the sort of AUSKF kind of registered kendo, I'm sure. So I'm sure you'll do super well. Thank you very much again for sending it in. If anyone else wants to send a video to me for the same kind of sort of feedback, it's mail@kendostar.com. Just put it up on YouTube in a private link and email it over to me, and I'll be very much happy to do it. I only do one of these about once a month, so if you send it to me, I might not do it like right away. But a lot of people have given me feedback that they really like these videos. If you found it helpful, let me know, and as well in the comments. Shop at Kendo Star. And see you next time. Bye bye.